All right, old school NBA fans, self-research NBA facts. I got another video for you. Again, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. You guys are great. Got a great audience. I know a lot of you guys in my last videos pushing back some on the Kobe thing. I know there's a lot of Kobe fans out there. I see Scap Attack did another Kobe video. So I just wanted to get into some stuff. You know, Kobe is not Jordan, okay? Kobe is a great player. I had him, you know, maybe around number 7 or 8 all time until I went through and I did my own ranking system. You know, if you haven't seen the ranking videos, be sure to check those out. Kobe got really high ranks. He ended up being number 4, just ahead of Kareem, which I couldn't believe. But that's where he landed. You know, he didn't get upset a lot. You know, he was a great player. He won 5 championships. He's got the back-to-back without a top 75 player. All those things are great, no doubt about it. 9-time first-team all-defense. To say Kobe was not a great player, you're kidding yourself. He was absolutely a great player, but he wasn't Jordan. And I'm going to go over a few things to show why there's, you know, a substantial separation between the two. Kobe is not just a continuation of Jordan, and in the GOAT conversation, he's not. I've looked at it from a lot of different angles, and Kobe is he's just not Jordan. Jordan is the greatest player who's ever played. Regardless of what era he would have played in, none of that would have mattered. Jordan was the most skilled player who you know, didn't get upset. When he had a chance to, you know, win the series, he won the series, almost certainly. So we'll start out with this. The only real blemish, if you even want to call it a blemish, but I do call it a blemish, that I could find on Michael Jordan's record was in 1989, he had a 2-1 lead in the Eastern Conference Finals against Detroit. But you got to remember, the Bulls were the 6th seed in that season. They were 5th place in their division in the Central. It was a stacked division. To win 47 games, they were hard-fought, you know, wins, because the division was so hard. You had Milwaukee, you had Atlanta, you had Cleveland, who was the number 1 net-rated team. You had Detroit, who was the number 1 seed. It was a ridiculously tough division. Kobe's never had a division as good as that. So, like I said, Jordan lost 1 lead. He was up 2-1 against Detroit in 1989 and ended up losing the series 4-2. Now, Scotty Pippen in Game 6 took an elbow to the forehead in the first minute. He literally played 1 minute in that game, and then that was it. He was knocked out and didn't play the rest of the game, and therefore they lost. And I like to think that played a part in it. Now, would the Bulls have won Game 7 in Detroit? Probably not. I would have gave them maybe like a 20% chance, 25, something like that. Most likely they were going to lose that series in 7 if Pippen did play the whole game and they did win Game 6, which we're never going to know. But Kobe lost with home court in 2004, 4-1 against Detroit in the finals. And Jordan, of course, never lost with home court advantage. Kobe also lost in 2011 to Dallas 4-0 with home court advantage. Regardless of how his teammates, you know, I've heard Scap Attack and other Kobe defenders say, well, Pau Gasol and I think Lamar Odom, well, they didn't shoot very well. They didn't play real great. Bynum did. He played actually a little better than his season averages. But even with that said, there's been plenty of series where Jordan's help didn't come through. You know, look at the 96 finals. Jordan didn't have a great finals, but a pretty good one. You know, that first half of Game 3 is what was the final nail in the coffin that beat Seattle. Anything they did after that was just whatever. That series was over in the first half of Game 3 when Jordan went off on them. But Pippen shot terrible. Kukoc, Kerr, none of them shot well. Ron Harper even missed the game in that series that nobody talks about. I think that was game 3. He actually missed the whole game. I think he might have played like 1 or 2 minutes, got hurt, and Jordan carried the load and won that series for him, put him on their back. And Kobe lost a 3-1 lead. Now granted, he was the 7 seed, Phoenix was the 2 seed in 2006. Same kind of scenario. But it was a 3-1 lead, not a 2-1. So Kobe did lose 1 lead. Jordan lost 1 lead. Of course, Kobe's was more substantial, both against, prohibitive favorites. But Kobe also lost twice with home court advantage, losing in 5 and getting swept. And, I think in both cases, they won 57 games. So it's not like they were a slouch. They were a very good team. Now, Michael Jordan never lost 3 in a row in a 7-game series. That never happened. He never lost 3 in a row in a 7-game series. Kobe, if we take away 1997, which I don't think he lost 3 in a row anyway because he wasn't a starter, but 1998 he was an all-star. He got swept by Utah. In 1999 he was 3rd team All-NBA, got swept by San Antonio. In 2004 he lost games 3 through 5 to Detroit. In 2006 he lost games 5 through 7. And in 2011 he lost 4 in a row to Dallas. Swept 4-0. Now, this is what I'm saying. Michael Jordan's resume is almost perfect. It is impeccable. To be on that level it's a very hard thing to do. And Kobe is just not on Jordan's level. He's a great player. I've already acknowledged that. He's a top 5 all-time player. I mean, if that's not good enough, I don't know what to tell you. But he's not with Jordan. He's just not. If you look at the win differentials of the teams that beat Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, here's another very telling thing. The win differential on average of the 7 teams that beat Michael Jordan was 15.85 wins. That's the most of any of my top 25 players. If you take away the 1986 season, in which Jordan missed most of it but came back for the playoffs because there was a huge win discrepancy, and also 1995 where he only played 17 games, that would have affected the record if he had been there all year. I agree. But if you take those away, it's still 12.8 wins. That's the win differential of the teams that beat Michael Jordan. So that's a lot. He was losing to a lot better teams. Kobe's win differential in all his playoff teams that beat him was 6.6. So that's about 40% as good as Jordan's overall, or about half of if you take away the 86 and 95 playoff runs. So again, Kobe even got upset a couple times. Both Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant got first team all defense 9 times each. That's true. But what about defensive player of the year? How many times did each of them finish in the top 5 in defensive player of the year? This is a separator in my mind. Kobe Bryant 3 times was in the top 5 for defensive player of the year. Michael Jordan 7 times. So 7-3. Pretty big advantage for Jordan. Here's another thing. When winning over 55 games, okay, Michael Jordan is 24-0 in the playoffs. Kobe has a great record. If you don't count 1997, in which he wasn't a starter, his record is 27-3. A great record. That is a great record. But Jordan's 24-0, a better record. That's what I'm saying. Kobe's great. Jordan is the greatest. It's just that simple. Any way you want to slice it. Jordan is a better shooter. You look at their career free throw shooting, it's essentially a tie. You look at their three-point shooting, it's essentially a tie. Now, Michael Jordan has higher field goal percentages. Now, Kobe shot a lot more three-pointers than Michael did. That's true. Now, Scap Attack will point out to you that Kobe played in the dead ball era where, the pace was slowed down, defense was tougher, and all that kind of thing. May or may not be true. I don't know. We don't have Michael Jordan's mid-range shooting charts before 1997. We have 97, 98, 02, and 03. Well, Michael Jordan in 1997, between 10 feet up to the three-point line, the mid-range, shot 50.5%. Kobe Bryant's best season that he ever did was in 2010. He shot 45.6%. That's after the hand checking. That is no longer in the dead ball era. He shot 45.6%. That's 5% less than Jordan. That's a big difference. Kobe's career between 10 feet and three-pointer is .416. Michael Jordan on the Wizards, which would have been right in that dead ball era that Skapatak talks about, at 38 to 40 years old, was .424. So he's shooting .424 to Kobe's .416. Again, what are we saying? Jordan just a better shooter. In the 2002-2003 season, okay, when both of them were in the league together, in the mid-range, 10 feet up to the three-point line, Kobe shot 39.1%. In the same season, Jordan was 39 and 40 years old. Michael Jordan shot 43.2%. Okay, so he's shooting 4% better than Kobe is as an old man, shell of himself, coming off a major knee injury. So it's fair to say that Michael Jordan was just a better shooter than Kobe. Wasn't a better free throw shooter. He wasn't a better three-point shooter. They were about the same there. I agree with you there. But when it came to the mid-range, where you needed, footwork and your fadeaways and pump fakes, head fakes, all those things come into play, Jordan just better. He's just a better shooter, a better scorer. He doesn't have hardly any blemishes on his record. Kobe has blemishes. You know what I mean? And again, Kobe's a great player. I hate even having to talk bad about him. But please, get Kobe out of the GOAT conversation. He's not in the GOAT conversation. He's in that range of, I've always thought that there's 5 players that are virtually even. And they are Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kareem, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Those guys are about even. You could bring Duncan and Wilt Chamberlain into that fold, I guess. But some of those guys, they, like Duncan, lacked some of the individual stuff. Wilt lacked some of the team stuff. But even still, they're all right there. I mean, I don't really mind what order you have between, say, 3 and 9. You take those 7 players and you can put them in almost any order you want, and I won't get upset about it. If you think Larry Bird's the 3rd best player of all time, I won't argue at all. If you think that Hakeem Olajuwon is, no problem at all. If you think Kobe is, or you think that Kareem is, that's all fine and good. But to me, Bill Russell is firmly number 2, and Michael Jordan is firmly number 1. That's just how it is. Kobe, like every other player who's played after him, is just not on Jordan's level. He was a great player. He emulated Jordan's game, no doubt about it. But please, let's knock off the Kobe's on Michael Jordan's level, because he's not. And it's no knock against him. He was a great player. He accomplished great things, but he's just not the player that Jordan was. I just showed you in the same season, in 2002-2003, in the mid-range, Jordan on a Wizards team shot 43.2%, where Kobe, with Shaq garnering more attention, shot 39.1%. Kobe's in his prime, no doubt about it, and Jordan wasn't. Jordan was, on his last season, 40 years old. There's just too many examples here, like the all-defense thing. Jordan was a better defender than Kobe was. Kobe was a great defender. But again, the voters thought like I think. Michael Jordan 7 times was a top 5 defensive player of the year. Kobe only 3 times. Now again, I know voting is not the be-all, end-all. I agree, but that was not done by the media. The defensive player of the year. That was, I think it was the coaches that voted on that one. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I just can't stand all the Kobe is, basically a 1B to Michael's 1A. He isn't. But I acknowledge he's a great player, and I got nothing against Kobe. I'm not a Kobe guy, but I'm not a Kobe hater either. Do I think Kobe is better than LeBron James? Absolutely. No doubt about it. He was better than LeBron James. And there's a stack of players between Kobe and LeBron. No question. I get on board with you all day on that one. But when you're talking about Michael Jordan, no, I just can't get on board with that. Bring me a player that I can use, and I've just never seen that player. Bill Russell is the closest thing in my mind, and he's just not Jordan, plain simple. But anyway, that's it for this video. As usual, thanks for watching, and until next time.